let's begin in a seated meditation, getting as comfortable as you can wherever that may be. And we'll just start by listening to our breath, breathing in and out deeply, and just settling into your pose. So as long as you're sitting down, this will be most comfortable anywhere you'd like. And if you want to lie down somewhere for this first part of the class, please feel free. But this is just our time to tune into how we're feeling today, breathing in and out, constantly and naturally with ease. And just listening to our body and our mind. How are you feeling today? Just taking an assessment. And more importantly, just welcoming yourself to your class today, to this moment, to practice listening to our inner body, our inner wisdom, engaging in a little bit of TLC, tender loving care of yourself. So just breathing through that for a few more breaths here. And as we tune into our body, maybe we begin to lengthen the spine, drawing the shoulders further away from the hips, lifting through the crown of the head, and trying to find a nice, tall back. Noticing the natural curves in the spine, and maybe engaging the core ever so slightly, your abdominals. Maybe engaging them, pulling them back towards the back body. Finding that core strength to help lift our spine, supporting ourselves from what seems like the weight of the world sometimes. And at the same time, just letting those shoulders fall down your back, releasing any tension in the head, neck, and shoulders. Good. And we'll begin movement a little bit here, interlacing the fingers and reaching the palms of the hand up towards the ceiling. Waking the body up. Trying to find a nice long neck here. Good, and maybe we tip the chin up nice and slow, gazing all the way upwards, getting a full opening. This class is going to be focused on opening our heart, opening our shoulders, so keeping that in mind. With the fingers interlaced, take them behind the nape of your neck, your skull, the back of your skull, and gently pull your elbows and chin towards your chest. Gently pulling down and at the same time lifting into those hands. Good. On a deep inhale, broaden the elbows all the way up back towards the ceiling and widen them from each other. Notice the shoulders pressing the heart open here as we lean back. And of course, breathing. Constant, nice, gentle breath. Root down into those seat bones and focus on your heart. Your heart opening. Good. And we'll just take the hands gently off the back of the neck and interlace your fingers the weird way this time, the way we don't normally do it. And we'll change the cross of our legs the weird way, the way we don't normally do it. And see if we can just get comfortable with this. Noticing how weird or odd it might feel. And trying to settle into your bones a little bit for a few moments of meditation, perhaps, with our legs crossed the weird way and our fingers interlaced the weird way. So attempting to achieve a little bit of equilibrium and balance within the body, mind, and soul. Gently relaxing. Good. And then we'll interlace the fingers, or keep them interlaced, and then reach them high up to the ceiling, just like we did before. Taking the chin back and opening through the heart. Seeing if we can get a little bit taller with every inhalation. And rooting down through the hips with every exhalation. Taking the hands behind the neck again and gently pulling the elbows and chin inwards towards the center line and down towards the chest. But at the same time, fighting that resistance ever so slightly with the back of your head, pushing up and pulling down simultaneously. Letting out gentle sighs if you ever feel like it's necessary or useful. Opening the mouth and letting out a nice sigh can be very helpful. Good. And then we'll gently release the hands back down, slowly lift the chin, and just take the ear from left to right a few times, maybe shrugging the shoulders, and letting our heart radiate, letting our heart breathe in this openness. Maybe focusing on the color green. If you're familiar with your heart chakra, radiating the color green. Continuing to release anxiety and tension off and down the shoulders. All right, let's come to tabletop. Really taking our time to place ourselves here gently. And just figuring out what is feeling good to you this morning. Let's try and get the hips on top of the knees and the shoulders over the wrists. Hands hip width apart, knees hip width apart, or I should say hands shoulder width apart, knees hip width apart, but it should be pretty similar distance. If you're feeling tension in your shoulders, you can take your hands a little bit wider. And now let's get another big heart opener in, one more good one before we end our practice. Opening up the left arm nice and high and taking it behind your back as best you can. Palm facing out away from you, and maybe finding a little bit of rotation in the neck, figuring out what angle is most comfortable and helpful. And then we'll take our left hand down and reach the right arm up nice and high, maybe placing the right hand behind your back. Finding the right angle for your head. And we'll take that right hand down as I scare my cat away. And we'll take the left arm up, and this time thread the needle, taking the back of your hand to the floor, resting your head on the floor, and creating another resistance between the floor and the back of your arm, and maybe taking your right hand behind your back, palm facing outward. Here she comes. Maybe you guys have a pet at home, maybe dedicating a practice to your pet or a loved one, always trying to find a purpose to set the mind down, something positive and useful. Good. We'll thread the needle on the other arm, using the other arm, leaning onto the right shoulder, and maybe taking the left arm behind your back. palm out. Good. Threading the needle, resting the head, releasing tension in the shoulders. Another great heart opener. This quick, easy practice is such a great way to start your day. Even good to end your day with. Really good for any time of the day. Good. Let's take a child's pose, resting our head on the floor, arms out, and just really letting the back body lengthen here. Completely resting, letting go of tension that we still might be holding on to. If this is an evening practice for you today, maybe just ending class here in child's pose, letting those knees press into the heart, into the chest, into the belly. Finding the most comfortable version of child's pose, maybe bringing blankets around you, pillows around you. You really want your head to be supported and you want your tailbone to be supported. So if you could find your forehead relaxing and your seat relaxing, do your best in this posture to find this using support. And you can close class in this pose, just resting with your breath for several moments longer until you're ready. And always just very slowly coming out, waking the body up slowly first, and maybe bringing a smile to the lips. And then if this is an early morning practice for you, maybe finding downward facing dog from child's pose and just walking it out a little bit, letting the shoulders press open, backs of the legs open. Taking your time here for a few breaths. And then in your own time, walking to the front of your mat, if you're on a mat, or just walking towards your hands to find halfway lift. And folding forward. Uttanasana. Letting the shoulders really fall down towards the floor and slowly, ever so slowly, rolling up from forward fold and lifting the arms nice and tall, looking up, gazing up, and then bringing the hands through to prayer at your heart.